Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm not playing around anymore. Ascension 12, you're on notice, okay? I would love a rare card. I know this is going to seem like deja vu or a glitch in the Matrix. I would love if it was Brilliance. You go Judgment. Early Judgment seems crazy. Now, is it Brilliance? No, in a way. It might even be better. It might be better. Let's get some hallway fights going here early. Oh, you're very lucky. You're technically one away from lethal. So, I think I've probably talked about it ad nauseum, which is just how, ad nauseum, what are we talking about here? The National Football League? Am I right? Kickoff, ad. Wake up, ad. Pass out, ad. You know what I'm talking about. Give me a windmill strike. Regardless, we love it. We love it, don't we, people? It's America's game. We love it in so many ways. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you anyway. Even though we could have retained you, I'm going to hit you anyway. Me personally, I prefer not to be made weak, but that's just a curse for us to remove later. So what I was going to acknowledge before I went off on a tangent for a cheap joke, to be honest with you. Hang on, I got to see 9... This takes us to 3 energy. 9, 14, 12 is enough. It is enough. And just give me another attack. So what I was going to say, and I'll just stop it right here because I can't keep 2 lines of thought going concurrently anymore at my old age. I acknowledge that stance dancing is probably the archetype that's most well liked as the Watcher. My results have been best not focusing on stance dancing, which tells me that there's an error in my deck construction. It doesn't mean that a non-archetype is better than a scaffold to build your run around. Just means I'm obviously not constructing or piloting my stance dance decks appropriately. Don't do me like that. I don't want the flurry of blows necessarily. I would take the purity. It helps us out on longer fights. I would love a Conjure Blade, we just won't take regret. Okay, that's fine. I think a Purity is still... It's really slow, and it's worse early. But even just being able to exhaust that curse is, like, not meaningless. But you can imagine a scenario later on in the run where being able to exhaust our remaining strikes and defends would actually, like, really hit the spot. So, I do love a Talk to the Hand. I just barely can't afford Talk to the Hand and curse removal. I'm going to stick to some base level principles and I'm just going to remove the curse. And you might say, NL, you've lost it. Have I lost it or have I found an alternative path? You ever think about that? It could be the case. Goal on this turn is to get you into judgment range without taking 32 damage myself, ideally. Obviously, you're not in judgment range, but if we drew 2 strikes, you would be. A windmill strike does not put you into judgment range. Kind of devastating for a guy like me, but you know what? Maybe I have lost it. I can weaken you, and then we're losing a lot of health, but there we go, finally. We made it happen. Lizard's Tail. Lizard Tail is perhaps the perfect thing to get here. And give me a wave of the hand. I don't think that was our problem last time. Lizard Tail means we can kind of go all in. So give me a better Judgment. We want a better Crush Joints. We want a better Sash Whip. We want a better Talk to the Hand. Also, like, this is... We're asking for way too much. But, like, an innate... It's fine. An innate, Judgment would go so insane as to be comical. Doesn't hurt on turn 2 here, but still. Give me the Ex Machina. If anything, I think on our last one, we should acknowledge that at the end of the day, we probably just need more cards that, like, do something. Deviform early here seems like it'll go crazy. It's a bit of a spicy play, but I want to keep Eruption, obviously, for the double damage. Of course, I want to keep Windmill Strike so it gets stronger. I thought exhausting and defend and a Sash Whip makes us more likely to draw our Eruption on, like, a turn in which it's most relevant. You're going to wake up anyway? Okay. So, with Deviform, we got lots of energy to play with. No means to exit stance. means I won't be playing my eruption yet unless I could lethal you, but that's 9 plus 38, 47. Maybe if I miracle, I do 8. You're on 97. You're on 85. You're on like 30 something with 1 attack left. It's just not the right time. And trust me when I say, I wish it were. I wish it were the right time, but it simply is not. But that's not bad. And then maybe just like a wave of the hand, vigilance, defends. We're already taking no damage. It's a beautiful setup. We get very close with the windmill strike. I think we'd love to draw eruption this turn, and then you're probably done. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Very, very nice. It did cost us a potion, but still. Cheaper merchants. Give me a... I'm going to say give me a third eye. We'll need some block at some point. Great first turn judgment. Not going to happen. I'm like, if I... Eruption... Miracle. This does 60. So this will kill you. And it's very nice to not have to use a potion to do it, so we can save that for our elite fights. This takes off half the damage. We're already taking none. Okay, I'm a little stunned that we made it out of that, but I think I've learned a valuable lesson lately about the Watcher. Even if you're, you know, cruising or doing relatively well on the hallway fights, don't get a big head about it, because sometimes just the pace of the boss fights can have a big impact in a negative direction. Okay. Here. Not really the turn 1 you want to see. I'd love to just draw judgment as fast as possible. Barring that, how about... I mean, you could vault. You could... What would Omniscience target? Like, it could target a judgment, but we don't get to choose who it targets. I think I'm gonna Omniscience a Wallop. And then, like, whoever it hits, we're happy. Maybe it always hits the left target, but I wouldn't feel comfortable deriving that, you know, at present. Either way, we got more units in judgment range now. So if we ever draw it, it'll go crazy. 12 damage. I gotta spend 2, and then that's the value of the Ex Machina. Very good chance to draw Judgment on this turn. I would love to just dodge all the damage. Okay, Judgment is like the last card in our deck. It's a little devastating for a guy like me. But either way, it's most devastating because it means we got to go like 3 more turns to draw the second one. But we'll just let Windmill Strike do the dirty work on that one, I guess. And then this, it just gets you. Very good fight. Pantograph. Not the most meaningful relic considering the boss that we've got coming up, but still pretty sick. And then come here, don't rest. I personally prefer to make... I mean, we got a lot to upgrade, honestly, but I personally prefer to double the vulnerability, which actually makes Wallop better in and of itself. And let's see what we're cooking with here. The vulnerability is of the utmost importance. Even more so than the Wallop, but I'll Miracle to play a Wallop anyway. It's not like we have very like high energy expensive turns right now, I think. 30 damage, huh? It's not an insignificant amount. Wave of the Hand on the next turn. It would be beautiful to build like 6 weak on you, but I don't think that's going to happen. Wave of the Hand. Sash Whip I can't do anything with. It's 1 turn of weakness? Where's my... I need this Windmill Strike stat, man. Miracle? Crush Joints? You need a Vigilance? Okay. Windmill Strike, you have to use it on the turns in which you draw Eruption. Even if... I think that was a good example. Even if it hasn't had that much opportunity to get buffed, it's got to be sent. It's another pretty good opportunity. What do we not want to draw? We don't want to draw... well, you know what? Hang on. No. Draw... We play Cut Through Fate to draw the defend. Then we do want to draw Purity and burn, and we can use Purity to dump the burns. End the strike. We're already in Wrath. Okay, so like this is gonna be... It's gonna be spicy towards the end here. Any chance you would be so kind as to let me draw my windmill strike? That's not possible. I'm being told that's not possible. You may call me crazy for this one. I think we need to go in. I think we need to get to lethal on this turn, because I don't think we're surviving the next one anyway. It's so crazy that you lived through that, and that I didn't do the math. No, dude! Really? I thought we were cruising! Oh, our Lizard's Tail! Of course, we don't have to... Don't give up yet. That was just a tactical use of Lizard's Tail. My mistake, man. Okay, so Alpha is not regarded positively. Omniscience just doesn't have, like, a great target. And Ragnarok is just so expensive. I mean... You know what? Maybe it's not that expensive. Maybe this is the perfect Snecko Eye build. We took a 3-cost card. We got Snecko Eye. We didn't upgrade our Eruption. Wallop costs 2. Windmill Strike costs 2. Like, there's an argument to be made that this wasn't idiotic. Now, floor 2, we've been doing great on the elites. It's the boss that's been wrecking us, so I guess what I'm saying is just be sensible, man. Be sensible. I would like to... I mean, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and put up some block and then get rid of some stuff that's, like, markedly too expensive. We take 1 damage. That's not that big of a deal. Snecko Eye, you got to learn to roll with the punches, right? And 1-cost Ragnarok is a gimme. And then maybe like a 2-cost Third Eye just to see what you're pulling. And I would say, and anytime you can pull Ex Machina is good, because it adds cards to your hand instead of drawing them. Which means the miracles are going to cost what they're supposed to cost. And then on this turn, put it politely, you're not really doing anything, so I'm just going to ruin your life. Okay, so this feels like a decent proof of concept. Now, we might not be in a luxurious position where we can shy away... I'm going to do it. From every single 1-cost card with the methodology that we're using Snecko Eye. So as a result, 1-cost cards are useless. We may have to add some, but we'll see. Did these not get retained? I'm going to do it. Maybe this is the time to do it. Maybe this is the breakthrough that we need. Them costing 2 is a little annoying, for sure. Let me take a peek at you for a second here. Because, like, I could play an Apparition. But I could also, like... We didn't need to play that last one. But I could also bite and judge you, and then we're only taking 2 damage, which a bite allows us to get through, and maybe we can play a cheaper Apparition next turn if we need to. See, we're very much we're deep in the thinking man's setup here, I would say. Like, again, we don't need to play the Apparition, save the energy, push it towards something a little bit more effective. Now there's a problem here. We have 25 maximum HP. There's a certain... Now that I've remembered that, yeah, there's problems associated with that, I suppose, allegedly. Let me take a sip of the potion. No more ethereal is great, because I'll play... Are we going to play an attack? Well, we're going to play that as an attack. We're going to play... We would... You know what? Give me the wave of the hand. Give me the Apparition. Do some damage. Pop a Miracle. That's 2 energy. Play your defend, get some serious weakness going on out there. And then I would say, I mean, I don't mind Cut Through Fate, but at a cost of 2 on first draw, it kind of annoyed me, so let's feel like we get some value out of that. Now, you guys are weak for a long time. That's wonderful news for a guy like me. I mean, if you have a free Eruption, That feels like something you gotta get out there and then just rely on the apparitions to keep you going, right? Or is that idiocy? I don't know. Let's see what we draw. But we can always put ourselves back into calm if we don't draw something that we like. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is fine, man. This is fine. Didn't have to play. Sometimes we're going to have to play the apparition, and sometimes we're not going to have to play the apparition. The important part here is we're going to be flying very close to the sun. This is a good hit. That means we don't have to take damage. We would love to see we'd love to see all those cards next time, I think. Presumably a judgment is right around the corner as well. There it is. It costs 0. Things you love to see. Now I'm kind of framing it like, oh, isn't he such a strange guy for like going for apparition? But like every time I play Slay the Spire on stream and I don't take apparition, people are like, what are you doing? They're literally typing stuff in my chat that's like, it's the highest taken event in the game. Yo, tungsten rod could save our life, man. We need the energy, unfortunately. So there, obviously there's a lot to like here. What the heck do you upgrade? Wave of the Hand is the life bringer. It would also be nice to get like Singing Bowl or something, but it needs to have happened yesterday, I think, in order for it to really give us what we're looking for. Maybe I'm an insane person, but I feel like having 3 straight turns of apparition against this guy is a nice place to be. And then like an eruption doesn't do as much as I'd like it to do. A judgment isn't going to do anything though. So play your third eye. We do want to see Wave of the Hand. I don't want to see a defend because it's 1 cost. If ideally it's 1 cost for like 5 block, which is embarrassing. So right now this is going, man, but don't get cocky because it can fall apart real quick. Probably not the most high value waffle you're ever gonna see. I'm gonna cut a basic defense. An apparition will always outclass it, I suppose. I'm also gonna upgrade a wheel kick for damage is a nice one. We are kind of struggling in the damage department, or maybe Ragnarok. It's almost always going to be played for value, I guess. If by value you mean cheaper than it normally costs. Maybe like a Miracle, a Crush Joints, and then a Prayer Ball Ragnarok. I can't be too upset. And then Wheel Kick kills you. This does a little bit of damage. There's really no point in playing it, but there's no point in not playing it, so we play it. Obviously, the thing is, it doesn't even take like a mistake for this to go wrong. All it takes is like a... I don't even know what word you would use to describe it. A boss attacking for 40. That's not wrong. That's like, it's every day, bro. Okay, so on this one, this is a beautiful little gimme right here. 3 turns of intangibility to do 40 damage. I would take those odds any day of the week. How about a Wave of the Hand Wallop? Probably could afford to be a little bit more aggressive, but if somehow you live through the intangibility, you're not living very long. I will take another Wheel Kick because it draws, man. Because it draws. Are you silly? It draws. And I'm upgrading the blocks just because I'm also removing the defense. I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top. Okay, you are the Thorns user in chat. Let's be smart. Obviously, we want to weaken you. You're going to do 10. I will accept the 1 damage. Oh, but it's not 1 damage because of a tungsten rod. What a beautiful situation we found here. We don't want to see it. We do want to see it. We don't want to see it. We do want to see it. We don't want to see it. Although Wheel Kick will then just draw into it. Let's just... I think we slow play this turn. Excuse me. And again, Tungsten Rod saves us from taking a hit at all. And then this is where things should pop. Give me a Wave of the Hand. 2 0 cost apparitions. And then... We're drawing more apparitions next turn. Then give me the Ragnarok. We don't need to draw this turn. And just hold that windmill strike. It's gonna get there, man. Not the best apparitions you're ever gonna see, but it is kind of like playing a waltz. Now that you conceive of it like it's like playing a vault, that's changing the way that I'm looking at the whole scenario, man. Because I always play a waltz. That was a great fight. Now, if it went on much longer, we'd probably be in a lot of trouble, but... Plus, with low HP, you always rest, man. I'm starting to get it. With low HP, so you never rest, which means your deck is always getting better. And then this is where I get hit once, and I go, what? Well, it really sucks to lose 2 intangible. We don't really have better options. I guess I would just play 2 apparitions so that we get to keep 1 intangible at least. And then, like, next turn we could focus on... whatever. You might... That's the thing is, I guess that's the catch, right? Like, you might as well play the apparitions when they show up. Otherwise you lose them, unless they get upgraded. Taking my judgment that's bad for my tempo. Taking my Ex Machina, that's bad for my tempo. A lot of bad stuff for my tempo just came to pass. Okay, kick it forward. Things are gonna start to get pretty bad though, I think. Because I mean, we're just too slow and we're gonna be out of intangible soon and this guy's gonna be doing 1 billion damage. So, you're gonna need like a wave of the hand. Then a freebie. We have none draw. Next turn could go crazy at least. You're weak, and your bloodline will not survive the winter. I think we gotta like eruption. Potion seller. I'm headed into battle. I need your strongest potions. Miracle, enter calm. I guess we don't need to enter calm on this turn because we still have the intangibility. That's a bit of a misplay. We need Ex Machina in a discard pile so that it can make it back to our draw pile. Alright, now... Am I crazy to think like we're finally cooking a little bit here? 1 attack away from drawing more. Wallop. Might as well. Judgment, not what we're looking for. 36 damage or 2 draw. We don't really love the cards we're about to draw, which, if anything, means we should draw them. That way, next turn, hopefully we're more likely to draw cards that could allow us to survive this prodigious attack. Might be a little tight. Might be a little tight. 43 damage. Free Ragnarok. We could put up 8 block. 8 block still means we die. No, we'd be on 44. It means we live with 1 HP. We gotta commit to that. Unfortunately. 2 HP because of Tungsten Rod. You gotta play your Eruption there. There's no question about that. 5 energy. And we, unfortunately, I think we have to commit to like the Windmill Strike. It just sucks that it costs 3. Now you're doing quite a lot of damage. And that's an issue for a guy like me. This is still not much. Let me see what we're cooking with here. We probably do need to kill you. Even if, well, you know what? If a Cut Through Fate draws some cheap defense, we could live, because we only need 24. I think that's the best way, like, that this could happen, even though Cut Through Fate is so expensive. Like, you're already weak, and we... You know what, never mind, we can literally just kill you. That would have been, like, a devastating miscalculation. Okay, so we live to, like, at least make the run viable. I think a lesson learned could go crazy if it keeps upgrading my intangibles. And then I can't do Runic. Well, maybe we can do Runic Dome. Because we just play our intangibles when they show up anyway, man. You got, this is like, the Slay the Spire subreddit sends its regards. We took Bites, we took Intangible, we took Runic Dome, and we took Snecko Eye. Holy cow. Who would have thought, man? So why is Runic Dome okay? Because we have to play our apparitions every time they show up anyway, right? That's the meat and potatoes of it. It makes sense to me. With enemies, well, it'll suck against the, like, spaghetti monster, because there may well be a turn in which it curses us, I suppose. But, like, apart from that, this also, I'm realizing, it also allows us to stay in Eruption longer. We probably should have fished for a lesson learned, but it allows us to stay in Wrath longer, because we'll have the intangibility up. We're going to lose one on this turn. There's not much you can do about it. We drew... People are calling it the worst lesson learned in the history of gaming. Alright. Alright. I'm not saying there will be no turns, by the way, in which it's relevant. We might as well weaken them for life, right? I'm not saying there's no turns in which it'll be relevant that Runic Dome is out here. I'm just saying, at least at the start of a fight, when things are at their most critical, it'll matter less. So you need this. We really want to rush through everything to get to a lesson learned. And I want to put up enough block. This does 14. So we can take out a Thorns carrying unit without having to sweat it. We still have intangibility. And it's crazy to do this, but I'm really trying to stall, if possible, to get 2 lesson... Oh, you exploded, right? We could have just killed you, not that it ended up mattering. But 2 lesson learns matters like a great deal. It's crazy that, like, I can't play anything else. Okay, so there's our lesson learned. With Apparition, we can still only... Well, can I even kill you? Oh, I got Miracles. Surely we're able to kill you here. So the... Think about it. Yeah, intangibility keeps us safe. No, man, no! Upgrade me, upgrade me. Wait. Whenever you play 10 cards, draw a card. Give me a cheap attack. Give me that bite, please. It worked. Might have been close, but it worked. It upgraded itself. Kind of comical. I don't think signature move's gonna pop for us. So what do we have to do? Wait a sec. Judgment's not an attack, right? Judgment's a skill. We could always, like, starting with Ragnarok is probably great tempo, or starting with an upgraded wheel kick is great tempo, or starting with Eruption is great tempo, because, you know, I think that's the play. I think it's, I was going to remove some bad cards. I think you start with Eruption, knowing that our odds of drawing a intangible on turn 1 are pretty high. So most of the time we'll be able to afford to go into double damage for at least 1 turn. And then we can literally just do that. And now we got 2 turns of, like, minding our own business. I didn't even see who the boss was. Okay, it's always them now, which I certainly cannot complain about. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. There's no... Save it for a lesson learned, man. I'm telling you, there's a science to this stuff. We still have intangibility. It would be amazing to use a lesson learned on you. You know what? I'm just gonna kill you because I find you quite annoying. I don't want to have to play around you later. A Protect, I'll be happy to have. Whispering Voices. I'll lose 1 max HP. That doesn't matter that much to a guy like me, I suppose. Now, let's keep some apparitions from exhausting. That's very important. We could maybe pop them on more important turns against the boss. Just makes sense to a guy like me. 14 damage. Stings a little. Wheel kick, third eye, Ragnarok. I think that's a goated draw next turn. And the only thing that lesson learned will work on is the boss, so keep that in mind as we design these rhymes to explain in due time. We don't have apparition. So this turn, you gotta commit. And just to be on the safer side, I'm gonna make sure you're taken out as well. And I can afford to hold a Windmill Strike. How about drawing an intangible? The Madmen. The Madmen, they actually did it. 2 turns of intangible. I feel like on this turn, this is like your summon turn. Let me see if I can get you into lesson learned range. Holy cow, I didn't think it was possible. Distilled Chaos is like, I don't know, it actually might be fine here. I don't want insights just in case. Are the insights going to be more expensive? Maybe it would have been fine, but... Now, what I'm concerned about is I really feel like it's the worst relic of all time. I really feel like I need to kill Dono Deca in like 5 turns or less. Now, you're like a nightmare, because with Runic Dome, I just have no idea what to do. With Apparition, I guess you just take advantage of your Apparition, allowing you to withstand high damage attacks, and if you get cursed, then you just get cursed. And you know, what are you gonna do? Consider it a blessing just to be alive, I suppose. So like, don't curse me, bro. That's not a curse. I'm chill. Still chilling after all these years. There's your lesson learned. I don't think I can kill you, but with an intangible, I can at least... Like, it looks like I can kill you, but I really don't think I can do 40 like that. I think we need to wheel kick, and then, like, this actually might open things up a little bit. 30, 26, 24. Lesson learned actually gets there. Purity is probably a card I shouldn't have even added into our deck, but I didn't know where we were going. Who knew the run would go like this, man? This is not my typical... MO, as it were. Harry Styles in the lab trying to come up with the perfect title. 0 cost apparition. I'm realizing 0 cost apparition, these are like things you love to see. I don't want to see lesson learned yet. I want to see Ex Machina next turn. Lesson learned on the second cycle is probably going to be much more advantageous. Last turn of intangibility. A good opportunity. 2 turns of intangibility. I'm gonna go like all in on that. I'm gonna say we don't want the judgment. I'm gonna say we only want lesson learned to get the kill. So we still have intangibility. Ragnarok is gonna take you close. And then we're farming for like lesson learned in a turn or so. Again, everything seems very nice, very impressive right now, very mindful, very demure, etc., etc. But things can go like catastrophically wrong the longer a fight goes on. I'm just gonna hold you right there. And Dono Deca is probably going to go on a little longer than the Ma. That's a huge hit. Still think that the upgrades might be more important. Meal ticket. Okay, so they're not giving us any freebies here on the final floor. No intangibility. I saved my potions. I don't think we're going to need them. It changes the flow of the run just a little bit. Because on turn 1... we might take a little hit here. Saved. Not that I guess we could have just rested anyway, but... Okay, this turn, pretty bad. Could we get a lesson learned to work? Yeah. Am I going to do it? Nah. We can get it to work later in the fight. This is, unfortunately, I think this is a slow play. Now, the Judgment is like the most clutch card on this fight completely. And then you might call me a madman. I think I don't really care. I could possibly farm these guys for lesson learns like all the live long day, man. At least, I mean, that's a gimme, but we have 2 apparitions left. At least until we lose all of our intangible, we might as well stall them as long as possible. Like here, could we get a kill? Yeah, brother, like easily. But instead, we could also say, hey, take 2 turns and call me in the morning. Great turn to draw lesson learned. They just didn't want to see me succeed, and it sucks that came to pass, but whatever. How about lesson learned is like guaranteed next turn, and then you can make it up to me by just hitting an apparition. Basic block? What a cruel joke, man. Okay, well, like, I think we did very well just to make it here. I think this is going to be harder than it looks, maybe, especially given who the bosses are. You would probably be like, this is a gimme, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think we need an upgrade on this. We'll erupt. You've obviously got to go first. You got to play your apparition. It drew another apparition. This one. It's technically probably better to play them later, and you're a little expensive. So I'm gonna make the executive decision to stall you. Although, you know what? Let's try a little Distilled Chaos. What do you got for me? Perfectly timed Ragnarok. Perfectly timed wheel spin. Whatever it's called. Great wave of the hand, honestly, too. This might not be as outlandish as it looks, man. Like, it's a beautiful start, and we've actually managed to put some weakness on them. And we've got some intangibilities circling around the deck for later. This turn, I think you'd be silly not to. It's not going to be the most effective turn you've ever seen. I feel like you hold a Windmill Strike. This might be a good turn to say, like, if we're going to play a bite, let's make sure we at least get 2 weakness out of it. And then, like, a third eye, we want it, we don't really care. We probably do care. So let's keep those up there. And then you can just play it. But I think we have a better chance than I had originally anticipated, for sure. I don't know who's attacking on this turn. Is this turn 3? Because if it's turn 3, there's a method of the madness that I was not paying close enough attention to, but okay, that's important. That's important. You're dead. I think you're attacking me, which means we would love to have... I mean... Maybe this is crazy. Yeah, you probably want the apparition. And then maybe we don't need to cut through fate next turn. Okay, so you're not attacking this turn. We don't have to play an apparition. That's just keep your tempo on there. But that will mean next turn we'll want to have an apparition or we're going to be dead. And there's only one in the deck. So, I think you can only go off if you know you're going to get apparition or a way to exit Wrath. Which to me means that and as much as you may hate it, I think it means that we have to stall. We have a protect, don't get me wrong, but I think we have to stall. Otherwise, one bad draw ruins our whole run. Whereas right now, like, we're probably in a good spot. Like, wave of the hand lets us stall for a long time. We're probably going to play a protect just to ensure that we're okay here. That gives us 6 turns of weakness, which is incredible. Next turn, we don't need Apparition, so sort it to the bottom. And then we should be able to get one more free turn. Okay, so we're still chilling. We're trying to line up the perfect turn, and it may never come to pass. But even just being able to play an incredibly expensive Ragnarok, I refuse. An outrageously expensive Ragnarok. Well, we don't know what we're drawing next turn, right? So this is like, you can play an Eruption. Next turn, you're attacking. You can play an Eruption for 9, and then play a Vigilance, again, just to secure your position. We got to be very careful with the amount of max HP we have. Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to take a hit this turn. We probably don't need to play Wave of the Hand then. But we don't have any other blocks that we'd rather play. So we'll play Wave of the Hand, defend, Third Eye. Next turn, we don't need our Apparitions. Cut Through Fate. What are you going to draw? Bite, Windmill Strike. Let's just get a Windmill Strike in hand. No, we didn't take damage. Okay, that's wonderful. And we did not get an Eruption either, but just work with me, okay? We got an Eruption, but next turn you're attacking. I can't play it anyway. We're getting there. I'll admit that it's taken a really long time, okay? We have an expensive Protect in hand. So let's just hold it. That means we're likely to not die on the next turn. Especially we can afford to play 1 Apparition. For sure, man. For sure. There's no need to play 2. That finally, it lined up for us the way we needed it to line up. You already have 10 turns of weakness. So I'm just going to make sure we're drawing some gas next turn, hopefully. And I'm literally going to hit you with that, which is stunning, but... Just a little attack power would really hit the spot, brother! Oh, okay. Well, this one was very different than my average decision-making process in Slay the Spire, but we get there. Look at that. 24 max HP, sorry. You take the bites, you take the intangibles, you take a Runic Dome, and you take Snecko Eye. Thanks for watching. It might be the most overpowered run I've ever had. Maybe it was almost unlosable. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. I've said a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and I'll see you next time. See ya!